Hello, this is Dylan Moore. This is the individual work assignment um, for the class. And I should be showing on my screen recording my code on one side and then my screen over here on the other. Right now we're going to go back to the user info page. But I'll go ahead and go over my code first, and then we'll start working through it. Right here's my HTML page that's been saved. Got all my typical opener stuff, language selected, character set, screen settings, the title for the page. That's my other heading, which comes up at the top of the page. And then here's my form, which is updateinfo.php using the method post. And here is my setup for my table with HTML, where I've already set my max length for both of my names, my first and last name, and also my email address, as well as I've set the pattern for my email address. And I'm going to go ahead and take that out because I could not get it to work. So I'll have to take points on that one. Here's my phone number. Max length set to 10 because I'd initially tried to set it with hyphens already in there, so it would be 12 characters, but I was not able to do that. So it is at 10 characters. But here's all my, set this first, last names to text. I set my phone number to number, which I think is part of my problem with how I was setting my hyphens, because it only let me enter numbers when I put number. And I took too long to get it done. And back down to the email address. Here you've got the formatting for that, as well as the max length being 30 characters. And here's the format. The pattern is the first section can be any lowercase, uppercase letter, or numbers. And then you're going to add the @ symbol plus any upper or lowercase digits again for the email provider, and then plus either a .com or an .edu. You go down here, and then you've got your buttons that you'll hit after you enter your data, which is submit or reset. Okay, and then here's my PHP code. This is my first function that I made to validate input. So this is going to make sure that the information that I put in on my HTML side of it, once it gets sent over to PHP, it's going to validate that again to make sure that it is what I want. The validation is kind of set up the same, just a little different looking. Go off the string length here. It's going to be 20. I think I might need to change that. So I'm going to do not greater than 20. So there again, not greater than 20. So that should be correct. And you got your message down here that says, what prints after if you hit an error. And all my errors that I hit are going to be stored down here or up here in this array that I have, or this list that I have set up, so that it'll push each one of these errors that I push into here. And then at the end, if I have errors, it will basically, if the errors, if it is not empty, then it will print each one of the errors to tell you what you did wrong. And down here is my next function, which is save data. And this is where it is going to create a file and put that information into a file, which is userinfo.txt. And I'm going to have to create another list, which is entries. And this is basically for validation on this. If the file exists, file name, which is going to be userinfo.txt. If that file exists, then lines equals file name. And that's going to record all the lines on the file. And then it's going to, for each lines as per line, it's going to go through here and create a list of each one of these for itemized. And then as that's stored, it's going to sort them down here as well. And this is going to write the data to the file. It's going to implode it, which is going to break it up into sections and split it up in that way so that it will print back out in that way. And then file put contents, it's going to put the contents in the file name, in the file that I specify, and it's going to use this information or this way to do it. So it's going to fill this variable each time. And here's my display data function, which basically uses my file, my user info file. And if it, again, checks for validation. If that file exists, then it will display the data. And the output is going to come out with a heading. It's going to have stored user information first. It's going to give you the table border with the different categories: last name, first name, phone number, email. And then it's going to go through and for each line through the line, it's going to print the first name, last name, phone number, and email into that table. And here's where I formatted that. So the output is the finished table, and it returns the output. So then we have the check to make sure the request method is post. So it is going to do that. I made sure that it checked for the post method, so it will be posting. And then let's see. Stores the errors. This looks like it's printing errors again. But this is also going to tell you after it's all done if there are any errors on your PHP page, or it'll tell you that the data is saved successfully. I have had a couple errors with this, but like I said, I've not been able to work through it. I hope it doesn't deduct too many points. But now we're going to go to our user information form. I'm going to go ahead and break that off so I can go through it. Let's see, no field is allowed to be blank. So we'll leave first name blank. I'm going to use my name. Then see, it won't let me do that. It won't let me leave a field blank. So it's gonna require me to enter something into that field and text at that. So there we go. I've got my first one. I did not get my button back, so I'm going to have to type this in every time. And let's go ahead and do a number in there. And then we'll do the same thing for the phone number. Okay. Please correct the following errors. Phone number must be 10 digits, no dashes or parentheses. Back to form. There we go. So if you hit an error, it does take you back to form. We're going to go ahead and check the other requirements, like phone being 12 characters exactly. I did not get 12. I got 10. I could not get the formatting right on that. Let's see. Maximum length of the name. I'm just going to go ahead and hit A. Okay, it will not go above 20, so you cannot enter anything above 20 characters. And the same goes for this one. It's 20 characters, can't go any farther. That worked. And let's see, email address can't be over 30 characters, so I'm going to use a smaller letter. "30 characters there, will not go over 30 characters. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So all of that is correct. We've got all of our formatting right for that. First and last name should only be made up of alphabetical characters. We've already done that one. The phone numbers format. I did not get the format correct. It's the same as up here with the 12 characters exactly phone number. And the email being a combination of letters and numbers followed by @ followed by a series of letters only and then a .com. So we're going to go ahead and try that. So we'll do, and then 4351. Okay, and then email address. We're going to enter, for the first part, you can put anything, letters or numbers, any capitalization, any size font. So we're going to do, that correctly. And then for this one, we're going to hit G4G and then .com. Okay, it's telling me I can't. I'm not hitting the right format, and then put a .com up there. So it's going to tell me basically to enter a .com or .edu. There we go. Submit. And there is it again. I've entered it again. And there we go. That's for the email. So let's see. Let's go reset it. Reset button works. Shows you there. Submit has worked. PHP script should save the data into a phone and user info. Okay. And it definitely does that. I can show, I'll show that file with my material that I turn in. I can put Hank Monroe 423-546-7834. Email address hmonroe at home.com. It's just added that. It's also alphabetizing. Because that's where it's sorting it. And this is the HTML table. So it's all my data that I have on that text file because I've been deleting it as I've been testing. And we can go ahead and do a couple more just to show. Mary Jenkins. 85768. M Jenkins at gogo.com. All right, there we go. So it's adding them successively. No big deal. Okay, and that looks like everything that I have to show, which is most of it. I did not get the phone number formatting correct, but I still do have the phone number, just not in the correct format. So yeah, thank you.